Hi, good morning, boys and girls. This is Miss Jackson here. We are on week 9 of our at-home learning. It has been a very different way for me to teach this year, but I have enjoyed making these videos for you, and I hope that you enjoy the videos that I made. So this week, we are actually only going to have 2 video assignments. For the one that we're doing right now, we're going to combine our reading, writing, and science together in one lesson. So you'll only have one thing to turn in for me on that. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the different ones that we're going to do. So if you are on page 4 of the paper packet, you will notice here on our reading, it says I spy letters. And then this is one we're going to do at the end of our assignment. So it's going to be reading, but it's I spy letters, but it's going to be at the end when you finish the rest of when you do the writing assignment. So for writing, writing was just to make a book. So you're going to be making a book this week, but you're going to make it on about the day and the night because we're going to incorporate our science with that. So if we go all the way down to page 94, and if we look here on 94 on our science choice board, it talks about comparing the day and night sky, and when the sun shines, different things. It talks about things I can see day and night. So we're going to be doing our book about the day and the night. So this is page 93, and if you look on page 94, there's actually a poem that I'm going to start off with to do it. So materials that you're going to need for this is just going to be your 3 blank sheets of paper. Let me go ahead and switch. Okay, so materials you're going to need are just 3 blank sheets of paper. You're welcome to use the full sheets, or you can actually fold it in half and do a half sheet booklet. It's going to be your choice on which size you want to make, but your book needs to be a 3-page book. And then you're just going to need writing utensils. So a pencil, you know Miss Jackson will like to use pencil when you're trying to do your writings and drawings, and then go back and use crayons and markers. But it's going to be up to you. If you want to write it all in crayons, go ahead. This is your book and you make it all your own. So to get started, we are going to be having you see, if you go on to page, it was 94, it's in the sky poem, so I'm going to go ahead and read that to you. It says, it's to the tune and up to the housetop. So I'm just going to read it how I think it should say it, and then you can read it as you can go back and read it a couple of times when you want. So it goes, what do I see up in the sky? A helicopter flying by. I see the sun, I see the moon, I see a bird and a hot air balloon. A rainbow high in the sky. I see a cloud floating by. I see a dark sky every night. During the day, the sky is bright. So this is our hot air balloon. Here's your rainbow, clouds, sun, and the moon, and the stars. So these are things that I see that you can see in the sky. Some things you're going to see during the day, and some things you're going to see at nighttime. So what I want you to do is, before you go and write your book, you want to go ahead and spend a day where you go in the daytime. I want you to go outside. I want you to look up at the sky, and I want you to go, what do you see? Now I want to do it during the daytime. So what is the one thing that you're definitely going to see? You're going to see the sun right here, right? So and then what else might you see? Things that you might see during the day. Think about it. If you look up in the sky, you might see some clouds. You can even look at the clouds and see what kind of shapes they may be. You might see a bunny. If it's rained, you might be able to see a rainbow. You could see rain clouds. You could see rain coming down. Let's think. It's talked about a helicopter flying in the sky. You might see a helicopter. You might see an airplane. Maybe if you went to a park, you might see a kite flying in the sky. You might see a bird flying by. So there might be all sorts of things that you can see up in the sky, and I want you to think about those things. And then when it gets nighttime, only go outside with your parents. But when you go out, I want you to go out and I want you to look at the beautiful night sky and what things you might see. We're definitely probably going to see some, you might only see a few stars depending on how bright it is outside with the lights that go on, but there's some stars up in the sky. You can see the moon. The moon can be all different shapes too. It's not always a full moon. It might be that crescent moon, half moon shape. Then you might see, what else might you see? You could see a shooting star. You can definitely see if it's a cloudy, you can see some clouds. They're not as bright and white, but you should be able to see some clouds if they're up there. You still might even see some birds. You still might see a plane flying by. There's all sorts of things that you might see in the night sky. So I want you to think about those, and I want you to compare what you do in the daytime and what you do in the nighttime. So we're going to be writing a book. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to our book. So here Miss Jackson has her 3 pages. 1, 2, 3. So you can put them together and you're going to staple your pages. So on the first page, boys and girls, the first thing that we have to do is we have to give it a title. So we are going to give it a title, and I want you to give it the title because remember, this book is going to be about the day and night. So we're going to write, and since this is our title, we're going to do, and it's our first word, we're going to do a capital D, lowercase a, lowercase y, day. We're going to do the sight word and, A-N-D. And then since this is a title, we're going to do a capital N for night, lowercase I, G, H, T. Now remember, day and night. And then at the bottom, you always have to do what? What do we have to do when we make a book? You're right, we have to say who it's by. So since I'm doing this one, I'm going to put my name, but when you write it, you're going to put your name. So you're going to put by, and then you're going to put your name. So I'm going to put Mrs. Jackson. Now you can also draw some pictures on this if you want. It's up to you because remember, you're going to decorate your book the way that you want it. So you can go ahead and open up to the next page, and we are going to write, and I want you to write a sentence about I'm going to do the day first, and then I'm going to write the night, but again, it's going to be up to you. So I'm going to do, and I'm going to put, I see the sun, because I'm talking about the day. So on this one, I want to label this because this is my day. I want to go ahead and give this the title of This Is My Day. Now remember, we're writing our sentence. We count how many words that we did it. And I'm going to put, I see the sun. That's 4 words. So you remember, you at the bottom of the page, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4. And that lets me know I have 4 words that I'm going to write. So the first one is I. Well, we all know when I is by itself, it's going to be a capital, and it's also the first word in our sentence. I see, that's a sight word. So think about, how do I spell see? S-E-E. I see the. That's another sight word. Think about it. What would the be? T-H-E. I see the, and then sun. Ooh, let's think about that. Sun. Good job. And S? Sun. You. Sun. What do you hear? an N. I see the sun. And what do we always put at the end of a sentence? It's a punctuation. So I'm just going to put a period for my punctuation. I can read it. I see the sun. Now this is my day, so I'm going to want to, I don't just have to put the sun. I can put all sorts of other things that I see in the sky. So I can get my crayons out. I see the sun, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my sun over here. A sun, I can just do an easy circle, and then I can color it. If you want, you can actually put little lines on the outside and see the rays that are coming down. So these are things that I might see in the sky. So you can do a kite, a helicopter. You can even make your yard down here and then draw the things up in the sky. This is going to be for you. And then the next page, I want you to label it night. And then I want you to write a sentence and draw me the night sky. And whatever the sentence is, so remember in nighttime, we might see the moon. You can still see some clouds. We might even, what type of animal might you see at nighttime? Because some animals that you'll see at nighttime you don't see during the day. Like an owl is nocturnal, and so we would see him at nighttime. We don't usually see owls during the day. There are a lot of different animals that you might see. In the daytime, you will see a lot more birds than you do at nighttime because they normally fly during the day. You'll even see a squirrel up in the tree. So there are different things that you will see in the night and the day. And the night you might see, you'll see the moon, you'll see the stars at night. So I want you to do your day and your night. So remember, write your books. So Miss Jackson's going to be very excited to see what you see in the daytime and in the nighttime. So again, it's going to be your reading, writing, and science. Now, at the end of your book, it's remember to do the I Spy. So an example on the I Spy is if I go back to my book, and your parents may say, I spy the letter A. So you're going to turn around and you're going to look in your book and you're going to circle everything that you see that has the letter A. So for instance, I'm looking for the letter A. Here's one. Do you see any other A's? Another one. Are there any other A's that you might see on this piece of paper? You're right. Down in Miss Jackson's name, I have an A down there. And then you're going to go ahead and then you would go to the next page and you would look at it. Do you see any A's? I do. I see it up here. And then you would look at your nighttime, look at the title, and then look at that and see. So you have your parents choose what letter they want you to spy, and you're going to say the sound and the letter name, and then you're going to circle which one's at the end of your book. So boys and girls, I hope you have fun with your reading, writing, and science homework, and I'll see you soon.